And here we are together. Hello, this is Deanna Nunez. Cheers. Ching, ching, salute. It says, live a vital life. You can't tell, but it's etched on there in the glass. Isn't it beautiful? So, cheers to you. Hey, PD. You found me. Thank you for joining me. So tonight we're going to be talking about the count of three focus strategies to help you be consistent with exercise. Now, as we jump in here, I hope that maybe you have a piece of paper and you're ready to take some notes. You don't have to take furious notes, but maybe just a couple of key takeaways that ding off in your head and you're like, oh, I gotta write that down, So here's how it's gonna go. If you're watching this on the replay later, that's great too, because I come back in and interact. But you're here live, I want you to interact with me in the comment section. So throw out at any point any hashtags of something that's like ding, ding, ding in your head, hashtag it, all right? That will be fun. And then also I have some t-shirts to give away. Hey, Troy, can you grab those for me so I can show them? I have some Mind Body Fit Club t-shirts. So if you're a person that is wanting to exercise, you need to have a Mind Body Fit Club t-shirt that we're going to be giving away as well. So we're going to talk about these three focus strategies. So join me here and get ready to write some stuff down. Hey, Brenda K is here with me. So this is the thing. I totally love to exercise. Now, I did not always love to exercise. It is a learned behavior. And let me tell you that I gotta say, I am a girl who grew up with a very athletic older sister that, man, she just was naturally athletic at doing everything. And so I compared myself to her, and I just was the girl that was like smoking cloves under the bleachers. I was too cool for school, and I literally flunked PE, okay? Who does that? Me, this one. So I come to you telling you that with the mindset that we can all change. We have this amazing brain that can grow neural pathways, and I love that we learn and we grow. And so I do these trainings because I think it's so important for you to pick up mindset strategies to help you get where you want to go. I know you have goals. I know you have things that you want to accomplish. And I really love being able to support you and helping you get there. And we know that when we feel like our mind is on track, now we can do things, we can execute, right? But so often we're spinning, or we feel stuck, or we just, we're not getting there fast enough, and so we lose interest or we get distracted. So mindset is everything to getting where you want to go, to accomplishing your goals. So when it comes to exercise, I got to tell you, the benefits are just over the top. I mean, not only is it just amazing for weight loss and healthy weight maintenance, but just really living in a balanced weight body is so important for your metabolism. You will have increased energy, better skin, improved overall physical health and well-being, mental health, mental clarity. All of those things help you to perform better. So no matter what your lifestyle is, if you are retired, I have a lot of followers and audience members that I've met from my Norwegian Cruise Line show that are already retired, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't think about your own peak performance. This is when you have even more time to live a healthy life. If you're someone that's still working and you want to be able to bring your A game to your business every day, be able to be more focused on your sales or achieving those goals, getting projects done where you don't feel like you're working on an empty, bucket. You feel like your bucket's full and you have tons of energy. You want to be able to have tactics in place that help you to come to work, with your full energy. And so that really, to me, it's all about exercise. That is one key way to really be able to make sure that you have a habit that is foundational. So exercise is just so beneficial in many, many ways. And what I want to talk to you about tonight is some of the things that maybe you hadn't thought about. So often for those of us that have been stuck in a diet mindset from years ago, maybe we found ourselves on chronic diets, you know, where you go over and over, start and stop, start and stop. We have built mental imprints in our minds that say, you know, that associate exercise with fitting into our pants, or yes, that is a good symptom of the results, and that's a good benefit, but it's really truly missing. It's missing the substance of why exercise is so absolutely amazing. So what I want to go over with you tonight in this succinct way is 3 focus strategies that you can implement to be more consistent. How does that sound to you all? Okay, so as we jump in there, let me know first, just like throw in some of what you feel are your stumbling points. If you don't mind sharing, and you don't have to give, you know, full private information, but just throw them in there, throw them into the comments. Like, what are some of the things that you stumble over? I'll share some of mine. I'll be vulnerable and go first. So I love my work. I love my clients. I love projects. I love getting things done. I love talking about hypnosis. I love putting together talks and presentations on the power of the mind. And so I tend to be on my computer, like sitting right here on my computer, typing away, all focused, right? And I can get in this zone where I just don't get up for hours. And so I would consider that one of my stumbling points that I am challenged to get over. So what I do is I get up first thing in the morning and I exercise and get it done first thing in the morning. And it really sets me up for success because I end up feeling super confident before I even start my work day. I feel like I've already accomplished something, and it revs up my energy so that I am more clear at my projects. I'm also working with clients one-on-one, kind of just like here, where we're over technology or we're over the phone, and I want to be really clear for you. I want to be able to bring my A game and be focused, and I'm able to do that when I have done my exercise that morning. So share with me what some of yours are as we jump in here. So Deanna, hey, is it Dean or Deanna? Ross Felipe, make the time to get to the gym is the toughest for me. So making the time. Okay, we'll go back to that for sure. PD says mindset is everything. Hashtag mindset is everything. Exactly, it is. And she says thanks for the shout out. So interact with me here, because know that once our live is over, I'll still come back and answer your questions and give you suggestions, okay? I've been doing this for a really long time, and I have all kinds of great insights to share with you. And there is no one blueprint that works for everybody. I find that it's very important to figure out what your stumbling points are, and then we get over them, we move over them. So as we jump into this, I want to be able to, whoop, there we go, there's my note. I want to be able to just really impress upon you, first of all, why this matters so much to me and why I teach this subject matter. Here I am, a mindset and peak performance coach. I don't want you to get confused with me being a fitness trainer or a nutritionist. I am actually educated in those areas, but it is not where I lead. I really lead in the peak performance area so that you can have the most energy that you bring to your life. And the reason that I do is that it matters so much to me is that I have really seen both ways. I watched my mother have a fight off depression, as well as having a weight challenge of most of her adult life, and then she ended up passing away from poor self-care, is what the doctor said. Did you know that you can actually pass away from poor self-care? It's possible. I watched it happen, and I watched my mom just totally give up. Now, her mother, my grandmother, was a huge inspiration to me. She passed away at 103 with total vitality all the way to the end, and I was just so darn proud of her. I watched her eat healthy her entire life, my entire life, exercise every morning. I watched her jog in the mornings every morning for 30 minutes all the way through her 90s, okay? She was someone who was just gracious and peaceful and communicative. She was very opposite of my mother. And so I watched those two dynamics play out. And my mother passed away earlier than she needed to and just really gave up on her life, which I think is so incredibly sad. And I watched my grandmother live in vitality, healthy, wealthy, gracious, happy. And all of us have this choice of how we're going to live our life. And I want you to never underestimate the power of your mind and your ability to quickly make changes and course correct so that you can really live the life that you want to. And I just so believe that that's possible for all of us. And so we want to make it easier, right? Because sometimes it feels really hard to do that. And we have circumstances that we're overcoming. And so we want to make it easier. So that's why I'm here. And I have also taught these strategies to the U.S. Marines. I have done presentations for corporations like Aflac, Mercury Insurance, Norwegian Cruise Lines, the Boy Scouts of America. I've been teaching hypnosis and the power of the subconscious mind, habits, visionary thinking, getting connected to your purpose and values, all of your internal game. I've been teaching for 20 years. So I know that this is stuff that I love, and I have so many strategies for you. But tonight we're going to hone it down to 3, okay? So why you need to be doing this and exercising foundational to your mental clarity so that you can get things done easier and more effectively and actually just love your life more. We don't want to just feel like we're getting things done. We want to feel fulfilled. We want to go beyond the to-do lists. Get out of that spin of anxiety of like, oh, did I get everything in today? You know, we have that worry in our mind. And we don't want to classify our exercise in that category that is something we have to do. I would love to invite you to open your mind to the possibility that you could step into the category of, I love it. I love it. It's so possible. Now, again, I told you at the top of the hour that I am a woman who grew up a girl not exercising. Yeah, like active, but not like an athlete. And I was, for many years, too cool for school, as I say, smoking cigarettes under the bleachers. So this is a learned behavior for me, and you can learn it too. So the research shows that there are so many incredible benefits to your emotional health, to your physical health, to your brain health. And as we talk about this tonight, I have a concept that I want to just blow your mind with before we go into our strategies, okay? And this is it. Let's see if we can do this. Right now, wherever you are, if you're seated, are you seated? You could stand up and sit back down. Hopefully, here we go. Stand up and sit back down. We're doing squats. We're doing squats right now. That's all you need is a chair. Now, this is the thing I'm going to blow your minds with, okay? The neuroscience shows that squats can actually make you smarter. What? Seriously, squats can actually make you smarter. So here's the science on this. Research shows that using your legs in particular, because they're the largest muscle group, using your legs, particularly in weight-bearing exercises, your muscles, when they're in use, okay, in exercise, they're actually sending impulses and signals to your brain that are vital for the production of healthy neural cells, essential for the brain and nervous system. Okay, so that's part of a research study that I was reading to get ready for you guys. Now, this is what is so incredible. Think about this. We think about our mind and our brain as sending signals to different parts of our body to do the work, right? But it's actually going reciprocally. It's happening the opposite as well. So specifically your legs, when you exercise them, send impulses back to your brain that help clear your mind fog. How cool is that? So squats actually make you smarter. Doesn't that make you want to do them now? Did you want to do a few? Jump in. Okay, so this is the thing, that every time you exercise, you are creating those feel-good hormones. We know this, like we love the dopamine effect, right? So all those endorphins that are like a drug of choice. Now, we all are striving for more happiness, and we're trying to figure out how to get it. And we know that just by scrolling on Instagram, it doesn't always get us there, right? It's not really fulfilling. It can be entertaining to be on Facebook, and it can be entertaining to be scrolling and seeing whatever Beauty's up to and watching cat videos, which I love, by the way, PD's cats, because she's always doing cute stuff and you post pictures of her. Now, see, even PD, your cats got a shout out as well. But this is the thing. When we're searching for that happiness effect, it can be right built in to your habits. It doesn't have to be elusive and wondering, how do I get it? How do I create it, right? And I want to point out too that I do think social media is great for a certain level of connection. A certain level of connection, because I think that if you feel isolated and you go on Facebook and you have a little conversation or you do an interaction, I think it does it. It fulfills you temporarily. But this is the thing. Beyond that, if you want to improve your inner game, then exercise is an absolute must-have habit that will absolutely 100% guarantee you those happy hormones that will make you feel better about your life. Okay, so you don't have to wonder how you can be happier. That is it. So here are the strategies. Now, I know you're probably exercising, but maybe you're not doing it consistently, right? Consistently, and that's the key. So when you're exercising, periodically, you're getting those feel-good hormones, and it fills you up, and you're like, yes, that feels so good. I'm going to do that all the time. And then, you don't do it all the time, right? So here's 3 strategies to get you to do it more often, more consistently. Okay, I want to watch the time so that I am respectful of your time and we stay focused. Okay, so 3 mindset focus strategies. The first one is called cognitive congruence. Okay, cognitive congruence happens when your ideal image and your current self-image are aligned. Now let me explain. Your ideal image is that part of you that you dream about, that's out here in your visionary thinking, your dreamy alpha brainwaves, where you go, oh, that's how I want to be. And you think about how you want to be. Have you guys done that? I know I have. I'm a big dreamer. And my mom, when I was growing up, was quite critical of type of woman. And she would say that to me in kind of a critical way, like, oh, you're such a dreamer. But as I've gotten older and more mature and wiser, I have decided to flip that criticism and use it to my benefits and say, yes, I am a dreamer, because I like to incorporate visionary thinking in my goal setting. So when you think about your ideal image, that's that person that you want to be. And then you have your self-image of how you actually view yourself now. Did I screw those up in the beginning? We have our ideal image and our self-image. So our ideal image is how we see ourselves, how we want to be, and our self-image is how we view ourselves currently. And sometimes they don't match. Would you agree? Like how you see yourself now and how you want to be, they don't go together. You know what I'm talking about? So cognitive congruence is when they match, they go together, they're whole, okay? And the way that you get that is by doing this particular thing. And that is taking a look at yourself, being brave, having the courage to do some inner exploration, and you go, okay, this is where I am now, and that over there is where I want to be. I see myself over there. And you investigate what is in the gap. All right? What is in the gap? Now, the gap, when they don't match up, is called cognitive dissonance. It's when you don't have alignment, okay? What we want is congruence. And so the strategy is for you to sit down with a piece of paper and a pen and not to write goals or to say, I'm going to exercise on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm going to put it on my calendar. No, that's very linear thinking. That's very analytical. That's using a different part of your brain than we want you to use. We want you to use that dreamer, visionary thinking. And we want you to feel your way to these answers. And I want you to ask yourself how you can fill that gap faster and more effectively. What can you do to fill that gap, to build a bridge, essentially? And that's what I do with my clients when I'm working with them one-on-one, is they use me to facilitate that process for them to build the bridge, right? To help them get to their goals. But for you at home, this is where you can start to create cognitive congruence. You sit down yourself and you focus on where you can fill the gaps. And so I ask you to just close your eyes when you do this so that you can get in touch with yourself. You don't want to do the analytical kind of thinking and beat yourself up. Now, that is the opposite of what we want you to do. I want you to just dream and visualize, what can you do now? Start now, start today. What can I do? You want to bring it to the present moment. What can I do to fill that gap? That's number one. Okay, you guys ready to move to number two? And you can go hashtag cognitive congruence. Look it up. You'll see lots of great information about cognitive congruence. Number two is view exercise as a value. Now, if you are caught up in the have-tos, you probably don't exercise or view exercise as a value. You view it as something you have to do, right? Now that right there means you have an internal conflict with exercise, and you can easily change it by shifting your mindset. This is where mindset is such a powerful piece to your success, because it all begins and ends with your mindset. And your mindset is the umbrella term for everything that's going on inside of you, how you view yourself, how you view your life, and how you view your goals. Mindset has everything to do with that. So view exercise as a value. So this is what I want you to think about. Even after one exercise session, isn't it true that your brain releases positive hormones and that you end up feeling happy? So even if you didn't want to do it when you started, you always end up feeling happy when it's over. Agree or disagree? Come on, give me some feedback. You agree or disagree, right? This is the truth. You always feel happy with yourself when it's over. So what you want to do is focus on the reward, not the struggle. Focus on the reward. So what we're doing is a little brain hack, and we're leapfrogging the struggle and jumping right into reward. And this takes focus. You can easily do that, but when you're laying in bed in the morning and you go, oh, I should go exercise, and then immediately your brain starts going, but it's giving you all the reasons why you shouldn't, or you can't, or why you don't have enough time. Right? All those things start to get in your way. Now, Mel Robbins, amazing Mel Robbins, love her. She wrote an awesome book called The 5-Second Rule. If you haven't heard of this book, you should go read it. It's fantastic. Or just Google it and get the summary. You don't even have to get the book. You can get all the points in the summary. But it's amazing. So she did a whole book on the research that goes behind this idea of all you got to do is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. What it does is it's a simple little tool that helps you to get past your own resistance and stop overthinking. Now, one of the funniest things that I can remember as a metaphor for you when we thought about, okay, just don't think about it, just do it, is I went to India about almost 2 years ago, I guess now, with Nicole McDonald. She's the owner of Sash. If you don't have a Sash bag, you need to check that out too. Love, we'll get a little plug out to Sash. Nicole McDonald, we went to India on a trip to see her manufacture, Miraliteron, where she gets all her purses manufactured. And we did all these amazing things. Miraliteron took us all over India, and we went on these excursions, and we went zip lining, and we went on a jungle ride with this really cute jungle boy guy, and we went to the Taj Mahal. And so we did all these things, and we were had a little bit of trepidation before we go do these things, and then drinking chai tea out of a little stand on the side of the road. And our little funny term that we would all come up with was, don't think about it. Don't think about it. Just do it. Don't think about it. And so for any of us that were nervous to do any of these things, we said to each other, don't think about it. And so a lot of times I'm asking you as your Vital Mind coach, as your hypnotherapist that's helping you with peak performance, to think about it, to think about why you do what you do so that we can come up with strategies to overcome yourself. But in this case, don't overthink exercise. Don't, just go do it. Just go do it, because why? Your reward will be waiting for you. There's always a reward. Just like in India, there was a reward of having such a fun time by trusting that zip line, by drinking that chai tea. And wow, it's really good. They make chai tea differently in India than they do in America. So trusting that you just don't have to overthink about it and reap the reward on the other end. So number 2 is to view exercise as a value, all right? Know that you're going to leapfrog and get to that happiness that's on the other side. Number 3, here's number 3, is the power is in your percentages. The power is in your percentages. And what I mean by that is, so many times I have heard with my clients, they'll say, oh, I'm either all in or I'm all out, right? The all or nothing mindset. Y'all agreeing with me there? Give me some hearts and likes if you've done that before, right? The all or nothing mindset. You're either totally committed or you are not. Somehow you fell off the wagon and you feel like you're starting all over again all the time. Now tonight we're talking about focus and consistency, which means you don't need to fall off the wagon. You could just stay focused all the time if you focus on the fact that your power is in your percentages. Percentages, give me little percentage signs, you guys. Put them in there, in the posts, in the comments, percentages. Your power is in your percentages. So although, you know, I personally love the mindset of like, I'm all in, you know, whatever it is you're going to do. If you're starting a business or you're, you know, going to make a goal to lose some weight or a goal, a money goal, right? You want to be all in. But what you don't want to be is all out. So the power is in those percentages, in the efforts that you make on a regular basis is your consistency. So the key to this is to let go of any negating that you do in your internal languaging. Your linguistics and how you talk to yourself rules your thought system and therefore sinks into your behaviors and your habits. So you want to speak to yourself in beneficial terms. So if you're beating yourself up for only doing 10 minutes of exercise, oh, I know it's not enough. I hear this kind of stuff, you guys, and it's not true. Your power is in your percentages. Sure, 100% would be awesome, but 20% is better than 0, okay? So let's be real. The power is in your percentages. So it means you are committed. When you're focusing on your percentages, it means you're saying to yourself, okay, I'm fully committed to this, and I'm going to give it what I got right now, and good is good enough. Good is good enough. So are you guys with me on this one? All right, power is in your percentages. Okay, lastly, and then we're going to wrap it up. I do hear sometimes that people say, well, I got an injury, or I got sick, or I had something that took me out, and so then therefore now I'm starting all over again. And this is what I want you to think about. Consider these things, okay? A, consider you may be able to exercise a different part of your body, all right? You're not out completely. If you hurt your ankle, you can still lift weights. You can still be on a bench. There's so many things that you could still be doing. If you can't walk, then maybe you can be on a recumbent bike. There's a lot of switcheroos that you can do, and you've got Google at your fingertips. Look up ideas, you guys. Look up ideas on what you can do, but get your mindset in that you're not out of the game, okay? B, it may be time for some self-acceptance, all right? You may not be able to do what you once did, but what you can do now that you might not have considered before is an opportunity, Okay, so maybe you can no longer be a runner because you've had knee surgery. Okay, so what can you do? Be the I can miracle. Okay, are you drinking the I can't poison, or are you being the I can miracle? Practice that mindset. Okay, and see if the doc says no, then listen. Listen, and that goes for everything that I'm sharing here. This is for you to run past your doctor as well for any type of exercise that you're going to start doing. But what we're focusing on is consistency. So as we wrap tonight, I want to give you guys a little teaser, because one of the things that is one of my great values of what I do in my business is I walk you through high performance hypnosis. Now, high performance hypnosis is leveraging your alpha and theta state waves, which are natural to your brain. And what we're doing is leveraging that state of mind, because when you're in that state, you are highly receptive and you are no longer resistant. And it is the perfect place to bring in your visionary mind, because it is proven through science that your subconscious mind does not decipher between real or imagined thoughts. And so high performance hypnosis is a tool that athletes have been using for years. People that are wanting to work up in their leadership and want to get out of their own way and become a better leader. There's so many different ways. We use hypnosis to help overcome phobias, to be able to focus on goals, to be able to heal traumatic situations. There's a lot of different universal tools, as well as pain alleviation is being taken very seriously now. Hypnosis is being utilized in the medical industry, in hospitals, in doctors' offices, in dentist offices, for an alternative to alleviate pain. So I want you to take it seriously too. This is a teaser that next week, same time, same place, come back, and I'm going to walk you through what I call a fit session. A fit session specifically so that you can be more consistent with your exercise. So I've given you some things to do this week. I gave you 3 strategies that you can start implementing. And then next week, you're going to come back. You're going to all experience hypnosis right here online with me. And I'm going to give you some visionary tools to start to implement to be even more consistent. How does that sound? All right, so we are going to do a giveaway of some Mind Body Fit Club t-shirts. And I like to cut the sleeves and the neck out of mine. Here we go. Here it is. So it says on the back, oops, we're out of focus here. It says on the back, empowered by my why. You guys heard my why in the beginning of this broadcast. I talked about why it's so important to me to live a healthy, vital life. And I got to tell you that I didn't become an athlete until I was 40 years old. And I love looking at people online that have started kind of late in life, if you will, exercising. Ernestine, we've all seen all of her bodybuilding. She's 81. She started exercising in her 70s as a way to positively grieve her sister who had passed away and was just super close to her, and that's what got her to start exercising. And now she's become a huge leader and people know her all over the world. Crazy. It is never, ever too late. And so you want to lead with your why. Your why. Why do you want to exercise? Why do you want to be someone that's consistent? And I want you to just think about it. It goes beyond being, able to fit in your pants. That's a great bonus, isn't it? But it really does give you just so much more confidence in yourself. It is incredible. So I'm about to turn 50, and I'm going to run a marathon for my 50th birthday to commemorate the last decade of my life, in which I ran a marathon for my 40th birthday, and then I ran, this will be my 31st full 26.2 marathon. And I say that because I really changed in the interim of doing that. Now, you don't have to go run marathons to change yourself. That just became my crazy method, and I say crazy because it was like such a good positive crazy. It became very contagious because I could feel myself changing in every marathon that I ran. And I wanted change. I wanted change inside myself because there were certain things that I just didn't want to live with, like things that I was holding on to in the past that just didn't live up to where I wanted to be. And I noticed the marathons that were just really helping me to become a better person. And so I just didn't want to stop. And at this point, I feel so fulfilled. I don't have a need to continue running them into my 50s. I'm kind of shifting and doing more weights and other things, but I will never, ever, ever leave this habit of exercise. It has given me so much reward personally. And so that's why I'm here with you. Okay, so let's give away a t-shirt. Now I have to apologize, Dan, you're here, you're a dude, and I don't know, these are kind of girly colors. So you may not want to win the t-shirt. But the first person I'm going to pick random numbers, and the closest to this random number that is your birthday, all right? And you're going to just private message me your ID to show me that that's your birthday. So the person closest to this number is going to win the prize, okay? So I'm choosing over here out of numbers, and the first one for the month is a 10, okay? And the second one, here we go, is a 15. So we got October 15th. And we're not going to pick a year. The closest person to October 15th. So put it in there. And then to verify, I'll private message you. But you're going to win a t-shirt, so you got to private message me anyways, Mind Body Fit Club, and give me your address so I can send it to you. Okay. So I love you guys. I hope that you got something out of our time together tonight. I want to invite you to come back next week, and we will do a high performance hypnosis session together. I will send you an invitation to remind you that we'll be on next week, okay? And of course, there'll be a replay if you want to be able to watch it later. Do you guys have any questions that you would like to ask me in regards to exercise and any of the things that we have discussed tonight before I let you go? I'm going to cheers you while I wait. Hey, Wayne. Say hi to a few people. Hey, David. Dan is here. Dan's in Japan, I believe. Yes. Brenda, Mindy. We have a bunch of fun people on. Thank you guys for joining me. I love this topic. I encourage you to go back and watch it from the beginning, because I feel like there's some probably really important things that you can implement. I feel so strong about this content, and I love it. I love what exercise can do for you, and so I really truly want you guys to be able to be more consistent. So PD says, how do you motivate yourself if you don't feel like moving that day? It's a great question, and I hear that a lot. So I would say, first of all, that comes back to that gap that we talked about. In mindset strategy number 1, when we're talking about cognitive congruence, and that is you aligning with who you want to be and who you actually see yourself as you are now. We want that congruence. And so I would say if you aren't motivated, it's because of the gap, and you are not connecting with who you truly want to be on that day. And I say that with total respect, because I don't know that we get it right 100% of the time. And I think it's almost unrealistic to think that you're just gonna like hammer this out every day, right? I do see people do that, but I also see them be a little bit anxious about it. And so consistency doesn't necessarily have to mean every day. I really focus on getting exercise 6 days a week. But there's times where I skip a few days and I don't beat myself up about it. But I would say what I do is I look in that gap and I go, okay, what's going on with me that I don't feel like it? And I use the feel, because feelings, you guys, are so elusive. You know, we've got to get past sometimes our feelings because, I don't know, I don't feel like paying taxes. I don't feel, right, like cooking dinner sometimes, or feel like doing my laundry, but we've got to do it anyways. And so, I want you to look inside yourself and go, okay, can I just bypass these feelings right now? Or is it something deeper that's going on? And if so, you can work on that. You can work on that. Absolutely. We are, you guys, we are so changeable. We are so flexible in our minds. And I think we don't always give ourselves credit for that. I think we get in our own head way too much, and we start to see ourselves as needing to be fixed, or that we're broken in some way, or that this is who we are. And it's just not true. I can't even tell you the many times that I have evolved. and this is what I help my clients do. So I've seen it, the most remarkable things happen for people that have a willingness to move forward, a willingness to implement and change. So I hope that helps you, PD. I hope that answers your question and gives you some things to do. Don't overthink it. If you don't feel like it, go do it anyways. This is one of the things that I do. I think of something very specific. When I'm tired, I don't feel like it, I give myself an easy percentage. So we talked about mindset 3 was the powers and the percentages. There might be some days, because I trained myself to be a runner, there might be some days that I'm gonna just go kill it, right? I'm gonna run so fast, I'm gonna go so far, I'm gonna feel awesome, but it's not every run. There are days that I'm out there like, I'm lagging. And so what I do in my head is I give myself the out, be like, okay, you don't have to go full out today. You can just get out there. And what tends to happen is, PD, is that, and anybody else that wanting to have the answer to this question, what happens is you get out there, you start moving, and I swear within 5 to 7 minutes, which really is not very long, you're in the groove. You're in the groove. And then you will push yourself to where you normally push yourself. You'll be right back in the game, and mentally you'll be checked back in. Okay? All right, you guys. I send my love. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I look forward to continuing the conversation, and I will see you next week. And I want to invite you, for anybody who would just love some really awesome a free journal and mindset guide, just put your email address here and say, I want it, I want it. I wrote an ebook called The Goal Getter's Mindset Guide. And there's some really great tools in there that you can print it out. It's about a 28-page ebook, which is nice and hefty. It's good, but not too big to where it's overwhelming, but just enough to really give you some great tools to implement. And you can print it out and do the work that's in there, and I promise you'll get results. So if you'd like that, I'm happy to send you that PDF. Just leave your email address here. All right, thank you guys. My name is Deanna Nunez. I am your Vital Mind Coach. I do high performance hypnosis to help you to internalize your goals using visionary tactics and habit setting so that you can get where you want to go faster, easier, and more effectively. Have a great night. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.